Welcome back to Themed Journals. My name is April. Welcome to the home of the Themed Journal Journey. Welcome to all the new members. Okay, so this is a beauty. This is a deconstructed journal. I've got some goodies in here. Just wanted to give you a little outside tour. Now, I haven't gotten everything decorated the way I want because I have these beautiful rings that I want to put on either side. However, my problem is that it requires a screw. I don't know if I'm going to get them or find a screw for them. We'll see. Okay, so here we go. Look at that beaut. Okay, this is a deconstructed journal. Now, I've got two notepads on this side. I've got a flip out on this side. So let me pull it over here. I can show you the flip out. Oops, look at that. It's curled up. Good to know. This is why you put your journal through its paces so you know where the flaws are. All right. Okay, so look at that beauty. Okay, I haven't decorated it, but you know, I figured I'd put pockets in here and do a few other things here, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. So that's that. I love this particular thing. Right. All right. And these are glued on. Okay. Then we have this beautiful journal. So that's what's on the side. And this is the inside. And these are the charms that I have at the end of this one. And then these are the charms I have at the end of that one. And that's the journal that goes with this particular gem. Now, the real reason why I made this deconstructed journal is underneath the journal. I wanted a beautiful home. Yeah, I don't do bows very well. Anyway, I wanted a home for my book. And that, my friends, is the deconstructed journal, taken from Natasha Treasure Books. Of course, the alteration from hers is I put my book inside, my novel. It's called The Mystic. And if you're interested in urban fantasy, the link is in the description. It's on Kindle Unlimited for free. And if you would like to buy the book like this, $21.99. So there we go. Isn't this luscious and rich? Oh, I love it. Okay, so how did I go about doing this? That's what we're going to be working on because I'm working on my second novel now. And I want to have a home for it when it gets published. So this is what I've been doing. So we'll make a deconstructed journal together. All right, so this goes like this. I haven't even put the latch on because I wanted to do it with you guys. All right. So now is the time to put the latch on if we're going to do that. So we're going to do that. These are Tim Holtz's latches. They're all right. All right, and we're going to use his, now we need 4 of these because we've got to put this side by side like so. Like that, okay? And it takes 4. So we're going to use 4 of these. Oops. That's more than 4, April. Okay, let's see. That's 3, 4. And we'll put these back. Okay. Now, before we get too far, I do have our regular steampunk journal somewhere over here. What did I do with it? Hang on. So the reason why I chose a quasi steampunk theme was because urban fantasy is steampunkish to me. Probably not to you, but that's okay. I just felt that steampunk and urban fantasy went hand in hand. There we go. That's a better explanation. So here is this. I want to show you this as well. We're not going to work on it today, but there you have it. I'm shaping it with the rubber bands, and this is the attachment for one of the spines, and this is on the other spine. And we're just going to do a regular journal in here, as you know. That's what I have planned. Anyway, so that is more shaped now than it was. So we'll come back to this one, I promise. And I'll put the rubber bands back on because I definitely want to continue shaping it and making sure that it's going to stay in the shape of the box. So I just love this handmade journal steampunk fabric we made. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't even like this area of this fabric, but it looks good with all the chains on it and stuff. So we will revisit that one. But right now we're going to work on another deconstructed journal. My second book is named Princess of Salem. It runs the Mystic up until chapter 22. Regina and her partner, Gerald McMurray, are in book 1 together. And however, he exits right at chapter 22 in the Mystic. And we don't hear from him until later on in the book where they talk through scrying bowls and comms later on and communicate with each other. The second book, The Princess of Salem, is about Gerald, and the book picks up where it leaves off in the Mystic in chapter 22. So chapter 22 is chapter 1 in the second book, and the timelines run concurrently. So the Mystic goes this way, and starting at chapter 22 in the Mystic, this Princess Salem starts at chapter 22 and goes forward and they converge at chapter 90 in both books. So chapter 90 will be first chapter of book 3, where the Regina and Gerald are reunited as not police partners, but investigation partners. I don't want to ruin it, but yeah. Okay. So the idea is to get it sort of here. All right. Let's just double check this. Make sure we got the correct. There. All right. Now, in order to get this right, what I've discovered is you've got to make the flap stay where you want it. So give me a second and I'll show you how I make my deconstructed book behave. Ooh, behave. All right. Okay, this is the front. Now, okay, right there. All right. Okay. We want this right here. And in order to make this go all the way through without puncturing the second flap, or this flap, we want this hardware right even with the flap. That's what we're going for. All right. Now, and we put it through here. Okay. All right. So we got step 1 done. And let me show you the underside. There you go. Now, we go back, put these little suckers back on. And we putz around with the other side. Aha, here we are. All right. And we want there. There, right there. That's what we want right there. Okay. So, we do the same thing. We put, okay. Then we can take this off now. All right. Oh, don't fall on the floor, little. All right, there we go. Then what we do is we flip it over and hope like hell that we can find the little clasp and that the all right, there we go. Now, we reline it up because you don't want it to be crooked. All right, there we go. Oops, like I said, we don't want it to be crooked. Okay. Okay. And there's the clasp. Easy peasy pumpkin sneezy. All right. And what I will do while I decide how I'm going to decorate this is I will keep this clasp closed and make sure that the book retains the shape. Okay, so now I have to decide what I want to do for decorations on the inside. Now, in order to do the last deconstructed journal, let's talk design on this one. Ugh. All right. This entire outer, this part, is one cereal box plus the flap. So that's a side panel of the flap. That's what the outer one is, okay? Now, this right here, each panel is one of these, a full one of these, or cut out one of these. So it's about this much of one of these. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these panels. Okay, 7 panels, 7 of these chipboards. I was going to use my good chipboard for this project, but do you think I can find it? I haven't run out of it. I just can't find it. I don't know where I stuck it. I have to look for it. Anyway, so, you know, you just use cereal boxes. No big deal. So now, one, 2, 3, 4, 5 chipboards. Okay, and what these are, let me show you, are cereal boxes, front and back. Okay, so you can get 2 out of each, obviously, each cereal box. I keep the panels for other stuff. And I cut a bunch of these down. And from the last one, this is all I have left. That's it. And I cut for each 2 of these is 1 cereal box. So I cut down a lot of cereal boxes. That's okay. All right. So the question is am I going to continue with the theme of using steampunk in the background for my next, the Princess of Salem deconstructed thing? And that's the question I have to figure out. I haven't figured that out yet. My spine jewelry got caught underneath my leg, and then it didn't want it. It pulled my, what do you call it? It pulled this apart. Now I haven't attached any of this seam binding. This is all seam binding that I've used as ribbon. Anyway. All right. All right. So, question is do I like the paper and the fabric together? I like the paper and the fabric together last time. I'm not so sure about this. All right, so let's look at the paper. The only other big 12 by 12 paper I've got is this one. Well, I have others, but I think I have just as big. But all right, let's take a peek at this. Now this is more gold, and this is a bronze gold. So now I like this piece of paper. That goes really well with that. So if they all are dark like that, and they are, okay. So this is the one we're going to use for this journal. Okay, so now the question is am I going to put just regular door knockers on this one and this one? You know, I think I just use regular ones. Now, I don't have ends for either the Deconstructed journal I just showed you or this one. They're coming in the mail. I ran out of the big ones, so I had to order more. Okay, see, I'm being honest on my spending. Oh, I want to acknowledge, of course. My sister gave me for Mother's Day a case of this. So thank you, Tisha. I appreciate it. All right, now I got glue back on my hands. Ugh. Always have glue on my hands. Can't stand it, man. Drive me crazy. Okay, so what we need to do is really decide where these corners are, because this paper decided to fall apart on me when I was putting it together off screen. Well, you saw some of it, but it really got bad after I went off screen to finish it. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of these. Now, if it has any of this business, we've got to reinforce it with masking tape, because we do not want any of this causing a weak problem later. Oof. All right. All right. Okay. Then what we need to do is scratch this. All right. Now, before we proceed any further, we have got to hook this, and then where's our awl? Where's our awl? Here it is. All right, so this is 4 inches. So that means at 2 inches, approximately, we want to put this beautiful piece of hardware. Oh, I see what the problem is. right, hang on, let's go like this so I can see what I'm doing. Ouch. No. Oh, come on. Ouch, that really hurts. Of course, I've been using and abusing my hands recently, so I'm not surprised that it hurts. All right. Okay, so there we go. How pretty is that? Okay, so now we hook this back up again. All right, like so. And we're going to measure this side. Oops. Again, it's 4, and so we want to approximately do 2. Let's see how far down I put it from the top. Approximately 1/2 inch. All right, so there. Let's see, over here. Okay, approximately here is where we're going to put this one. And I'm using, now the all has different widths. I'm putting it straight to the back, to the top. There. All right, we undo this. And we attempt oh, those are super pointy and they're super sore. Ooh, on my fingers. Okay, so now we got our spine jewelry on. And as you can see, it's beautiful. Okay. Now, we can go back to this. Another reason why I wanted to do one complete journal before I brought you in on it was I needed to know how to do it so I could explain to you what I was doing. Method to my madness. Okay, so now, the thing about these creases is this. You don't want these creases to be any thicker, so you don't want to put any fabric in any of these creases. And that's why I use the seam binding on top of everything to hide the creases, because it would be too much for the curve of the book. So there is a method to my madness. Okay, so let's mark. Oh, oops, sorry. The crease. This is the crease that we're going to measure to. All right, so we again bring this down. It's going to be about here. Put it back up there, and then we're going to mark the bottom side. So I'm really thrilled with my home for my book. Very excited about that. All right, we're going to save that piece because these are pretty good chunks of chipboard that, you know, you can use for smaller projects. Ouch. Ugh. All right. Now, it was a bit much on the crease that we had to correct. All right. Now we see if it's joy or not. Yes, yes it is. Okay, so what we do, okay. I should have gotten a piece of paper off my lap before I started gluing, but oh well. That's why you have two hands, I guess. Okay, put it like that, and then, oh, no, you want to leave it about like that. Yeah. Let's do this right, April. Oh, all right. Oh, I actually put my scissors back where they belong. Oh, wonders never cease. All right, so you want to sort of just cut it, leaving, you know, 1/4 of an inch on both sides that you're going to cut down. Now, as you can see, that's too small to do anything with. That's okay. We'll keep the paper over here. And then we'll keep the chipboard over here that we're keeping. Now, look what I was able to find. A long tube that lets very little out. And I've been using this for like 2 or 3 days now, and it's only burbled once on me. Burbled once. Yet these big bottles like this, look at that burble. What a waste. So anyway, I'm very excited. I found these on Amazon because there was a lady on Facebook. She does journals and she sells them, of course. But she does custom journals. She just doesn't make willy-nilly journals like I do. Whatever I'm in the mood for. She actually has orders and she's like 6 months behind or something like that. She's still in January's request list. Anyhow, and she has a tube just like this one. I asked her where she got it and she never responded. Not well done of her, but anyway. So I just went on to Amazon and I found them. They're called needle tip bottles. So you can just Google those on Amazon and you can find them. And I love them. See, a little burble, but not the big mess that's on my tip right now on my big one. So anyway. Oh. All right. You have to do opposite sides or else it looks weird. I don't particularly like this style of doing things, but that's okay. It's okay. It's the only way to do paper. I've come to the conclusion.